Hey y'all, what's going on? Good morning. It's your girl True the Trillist. We've been sending out a post. We want everybody to tune in about give us some input on how you feel about what's going on. We already know our world is crazy, but we've had some recent events here take place that we feel like we can't stay silent about anymore.
And in light of the situations that have been going on, we decided as a station and as a group, as a collective, to come together and have a little discussion about the topics. And today, you got myself, Dustin Prestige from Dustin Breaks Down, Wednesdays 7 to 9 p.m.
We got you Grady, aka Mr. Cold Hearted, from the Wake Up Morning Show every Monday through Friday from 8 to 10.
We have True the Trillist on Friday nights when Smoky Mirrors 9:30 to 11:30.
And Big Country from the Live Basement Show every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. The Petty Posse.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and take the lead on this one. I had a recent interview with from my show last Wednesday. We had a cop in, a law enforcement official, I say, to talk to us about the recent events that have been going on with the shooting, the murder of Alton Sterling in Baton Rouge, and with I always mispronounce his name. Philando Castile in Minnesota, and that was kind of on the hotbed of all the media outlets in the country. It brought a lot of awareness, I think, to white America as a whole, as to the condition of black people in America and dealing with cops and police officers. There was a lot of shock and awe going on because for the first time, I believe, you got to see two live murders on national television. This wasn't a TV show. This wasn't a movie. This was actual loss of life shown on national television, round-the-clock news footage. And it kind of got things a little heated, in my opinion, across the country. People that had never known the condition of the black man in America in regards to police officers got a chance to see firsthand how many of us are treated and how many of us are responded to in regards to call-ins and 911 calls, as opposed to the white counterparts you'll see a lot of times in the news as of late, where some guy will shoot up a movie theater per se and still get taken into custody alive.
Right.
There are other videos you can see on the internet right now that show there are things that not to veer off topic already, but there's something online called open carry videos. And in these open carry videos, these are younger white men who are videotaping themselves carrying guns in public. Some of them assault rifles, some of them handguns, some of them shotguns, carrying them in public and being approached by officers of the law, with the entire thing being caught on camera. And the end result is always they walk away with their lives.
Well, not even that. Well, what about the guy that walked into the church and killed, was it 9 people?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And he was escorted out with the bulletproof
vest on. Still got to eat dinner that night.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so that was kind of on the hotbed of the news topics. It was a very, very big talking topic. And I think that for the first time, really, sad to say, white America got to see what it's like to be a nigga in the streets. Even if you're law abiding.
Because it's been going on. Like, it's nothing new. We can go back. They made a whole movie about it. Fruitvale Station. Oscar Grant lost his life literally on camera in front of thousands of people on New Year's. So, it's been going on. It's just that no one actually wanted to speak up on it because they were fearful that something was going to happen. Now, all of a sudden, it's an uproar and everybody, we're almost, it's like to say, the African American race is fed up. And it's tragic that you wait so long for so many events to take place before you say, okay, you know what, that's enough. Why is it that we're always suffering and nobody else is? And it's like, well, hey, where were you when? You know what I'm saying? Where were you when, this man was accidentally shot because, the officer mistaken his gun for his taser.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's been going on. We've had, a lot of our artists speak out about it, but what did they do? They did nothing. They talking about it is one thing, and actually standing up and doing something is completely a different. It's a whole nother subject.
So when y'all say that standing up and doing something, what is it that we have to do to stand up and actually do something? I know what I feel like. I know what I would do, but I want to get y'all's
I would definitely, for me, because I'm able. I just graduated from TSU with a degree in administration of justice and security, and I can tell you that it's nothing but a monetary fix. Like, you have to start with the pocket. Like, that's the only way people start paying attention. Like, you speed. Like, just think about how often you speed every day, or think about how often you speed when you drive. But you really don't start paying attention to your speedometer until what? Until you get a ticket and you got to go to court and your time is wasted, and now you got to pay $216. You know what I'm saying?
At least,
at minimum.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to start affecting the pocket. Like, stop shopping at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop spending your dollar, you know what I'm saying, with the other man, and start spending it with the brother man. I ain't saying that to be funny. I'm saying it because it's the truth. Like, they not gonna care about what we have to say when we still spending our money with them.
Right.
They still getting that dollar. Black Friday is gonna come around soon. And guess what? Are we still gonna be sitting here having this conversation, or is it gonna be like, I'm finna go get this 42-inch plasma TV for
$100.
$100?
Yeah.
Like, we gotta stop. Like, we gotta stop. Like, we just had a dude murdered last night right here in Houston. He was shot 10 times, 3 times in the head because of a suspicion of that he had a gun. How many times have we heard that? Philando Castile told the officer that he was licensed to carry and reached for his license
after being instructed by the officer to do so.
Right.
After being instructed, the officer told him, okay, go ahead and show me your license. And he was still shot down. They treat us worse than animals. Y'all do realize it's like some type of super alligator running around here that's migrating from, I guess, across the world. And they catch this thing and they tie him up and they restrain him. But they shoot us down in the middle of the street in front of our family. This officer opened fire into a car with a child.
With the child,
Right.
yeah.
But you wanna. But as soon as we kick a damn dog the wrong way, or we do something that you don't think is morally correct, we get shot down.
Shit, you can compare that to the uprising that they had of people about the whole Harambe situation. People were actually on, complaining and picketing and protesting and whatnot most of it being online, but still making a fuss about them shooting a gorilla, an animal, because a child's life was in danger. There shouldn't even been any kind of second guessing about that whole situation. If a child's life or an animal's life, the human's life is going to take precedent all the time. But yet, here you got these situations where you see on camera a man losing his life. You saw Alton Sterling take his last breaths on camera. You saw Philando Castile taking his last breaths on camera. You saw the effect of someone using fear as a motivation to murder.
Right. I mean, it upsets me because it's like they know what to say. It's like they know it's being recorded, so they're going to say, stop resisting, or they're going to respond by saying, I told you not to reach for your gun. And it's just like, was that really what's happening? It's the media also plays a large part in what we see. And it's almost saddened because it's like, okay, well, I don't want them to know that this is what really happened. So let me just say this. And then people are going to start, oh, well, you know what? Let's go start digging for their past. Let's go look at their criminal record and see what their criminal. And it's like, what did that have to do with the fact that this person did not deserve to be killed?
Yeah, and that is a good thing. They it's true rather. They do. The narrative is created by the media. Based on what they want you to feel or think, that's what they're going to present. When Alton Sterling was murdered, the first thing they did on local media was dig up his mugshot.
Right.
He had a criminal record, so the first thing they wanted to put out there was, wait a minute, this man's a criminal, so don't get too upset. He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy, But then it took for people to say, no, stop putting his criminal past out there. His criminal past had nothing to do with this. An officer came to a scene. They tried to detain him unsuccessfully, I guess, and took it upon themselves to murder him in cold blood.
But we see that. But that's what happens in everyday life. You know what I'm saying? And police are no different. Like, when somebody can't win a struggle, that's the first thing they do. They're going to reach for a gun.
Right.
They're going to reach for a gun. This is why our generation, and I'm going to say our generation because we're all inclusive of it, this is why we so soft. This is why older generations look at us and be like, y'all ain't shit. Y'all can't even take an ass whooping. First thing you want to do is reach for a gun.
Black people got to go back to, especially the black men. Like, if we get in an altercation, we just got to go back to throwing hands. Then, like, stuff like that. Then, like,
it's ain't got nothing to do with the cops, though.
How about we just talk about it and resolve it in a peaceful manner with each other? Because obviously, we can't resolve it peacefully with them, the first thing they want to do is pull a gun. That is the most excessive force that they are supposed to use. They have a baton. They've been trained by hand. They have tasers,
pepper spray,
and it's.
I got a whiff of pepper spray one time, and it almost killed me.
Overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, from what I understand though, with police officers, is they're taught to, or they're trained to shoot first and think later.
No. Police officers are not trained to shoot first and think later. That's one of the things I was enlightened to this past week. And talking to police officers, the police officer that came in on the show, he was telling us the training protocol that they do go through. The gun, you are not supposed to pull your pistol until you are trying to take someone's life.
That's it.
You do not pull a gun to scare. As a police officer, you pull your gun. You pull your gun to make it out alive. That means you feel like, you know what? If I'm about to die, if I do not pull my weapon, you have the first line of defense they give you is for crowd dispersal. You have mace. It's a long distance weapon that can detain somebody. It can slow somebody down from coming at you. Mace, the police issue mace is strong as fuck. Okay, okay. Police issue mace is strong as fuck. It can take down a goddamn pit bull damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like that's their first line of defense. Second line of defense is your taser. Taser is another short range weapon where you can fire at somebody and possibly slow them down. True. I've learned that the taser does not necessarily work on everybody the same way. I'm sorry. The taser does not work on everybody the same way. Third line of defense, if you're in close combat, you have a baton. You have a metal stick that you can hit somebody with.
And it breaks bones.
It breaks bones easily. You hit someone in the head, you can kill them like that. That's a fatal hit. You know, you can hit someone in the head one time with a baton and they're dead. You hit somebody in the neck or in the arm and the shoulder or the leg, they're going down. You know,
it's a
that's your lines of defense. If you get to the point to where you feel like I'm going to die, that's when you pull your pistol. There were 2 officers restraining Alton Sterling.
Right.
2 officers, 2 men on one dude. That means me to believe both of those guys had their guns pulled. 2 guys on one guy, and both of y'all got your guns pulled. That's fear.
Yeah.
That's not logical thinking. That's not logical training. That's fear. If you put, and it goes back to this. Wait, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We have a caller. Yes, sir. You're live on the air. Hello.
Don't think they're ready yet.
Hello.
Caller, are you with us?
Talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah. I was just calling, like, for everybody listening. I feel like we should, like, be pulling together. Because people dying left and right. And, like, that's really scaring me. Like, I'm nothing but 25. I have a 6-year-old son. And somebody just died in the neighborhood I grew up in. Like, and ever since I was young, the police have been treating people of my skin color differently. And I really just don't understand it. And I was just basically calling to tell people, just come together. Don't worry about what the next person got. Don't worry about what the next person is doing. They killing our people out here.
Right.
Just come together, please. That's it. That's all I wanted to call and say.
All right, appreciate that.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
I will speak on to that. I wouldn't say a solution is us coming together. I say a solution is us having police reform. Because honestly,
we won't get police reform unless we come together. I don't feel like.
And that's
I feel like that's what they're
thing.
waiting for us to do. Like, honestly, I mean, just from watching what happened in Dallas, we came together. Somebody decided to shoot.
Exactly.
And it's like you're losing more innocent lives. Those officers in Dallas didn't have anything to do with what happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so since when is it murder versus murder, and this is how it's gonna happen?
Every day, because I don't believe in the death penalty. But,
I don't either.
But if you, the thing is that if you commit a capital offense, you are supposed to get either life imprisonment or the death penalty.
Right.
And Texas executes more people. We've executed more people in Texas than the rest of the states combined.
Yeah, because we are the execution state.
Okay.
I mean, they get sent here to be executed.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, America is the incarceration capital as well. Though we have more people in our prison system per capita than the rest of the world. Like America, we not the largest country, but yeah, we got more people behind bars than any other country. that's like it's a social, it's a systematic thing, and I hate to get all technical with it. It's a systematic thing. I think the main solution is going to come from police reform. Police reform is going to come from our elected officials. Elected officials are the ones who appoint the captain, the chief of police, and those officers.
We have the president. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's like the president just signed a document. Well, that was what 2 years ago. He signed that document for the 2 officers that were shot in New York to protect the police officers. So where's our bill for the people who actually need to be protected from from those officers?
It's in the Bill of Rights. It's
well, that's what I'm saying. Those
are God-given rights. Those are your God-given rights.
It's their God-given, but who's actually executing? I mean, nobody. Clearly, it's not being put into play because
that's the thing.
It's the white man.
It's a lot more facets to the situation than what people are just talking about. You gotta look at it on a local level. Let's say you are in your mid-20s, you're a police officer in your mid-20s, and you have no real interaction with black people in your entire life. You don't need a college degree to be a police officer, first and foremost.
Yeah, I know.
You have no interaction with black people whatsoever. You are born and raised around a white environment. Your first assignment is to police and patrol a black neighborhood, a black community.
South Park.
You're in it. Thank you. Say you're a white officer, fresh off the force, and you're supposed to police and protect South Park or Greens Point or anywhere on the north side. Really, if you want to be real about it, the north side is dangerous. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm being real. I mean, Acres Home. Hey, look. I mean, come on, Sunnyside, all that kind of stuff. Sunnyside is the most dangerous neighborhood in the state, from what I hear. The point is, but to get off point, if you are given this area to police and protect, and you have no interaction and no social skills with black people, I'm assuming, that's my opinion, you're going to be operating off of a fear instinct the entire time you're on your job. The entire time you're on your job. So what do you think that's going to lead to? That means that when you're addressing situations in that community, you're going to approach them with a fear tactic. That means that you're scared. So the first thing you may be liable to go to is your gun in situations.
But that's what I'm saying. So I mean, what exactly is it that we, because we're saying we as in black people, what I disagree, because it's not just a black and white thing, but what are we supposed to do if our officials, the people that we elect, are not doing what they say they're going to do?
Get their asses out of office.
But we can't just keep going back and just getting people out of office and just keep doing that, because I mean, I feel like all politicians have an agenda. So it's like, it's not going to be a fix just because a politician is preaches that he'll do that.
That's a generalization, though. You can't say all politicians got an agenda. Just like you can't say all cops are bad. You can't say all police officers are bad people. You can't say all politicians have their own agenda.
I feel like
you can't speak for the majority.
As a young black man out there in America, especially in the South, I feel like all cops do have an agenda. All cops, I mean, they all, like, especially when I go out in Midtown. Say I'm, as a black man, going out in Midtown, I can't even get into certain places. I get harassed by the cops just because of my shoes, and people are walking in there with sandals and all that kind of stuff. So it's they all generalize who we are and the type of people that we are, and the cops out here, they just, I mean, cops pretty much in the world, they don't even care about what we do or our lives or anything like that. So it's not, I mean, it's nothing that we can do as them as politicians can do, period. Like, I don't feel like,
I still feel like that's a generalization. I still feel you can't speak for all police. You can speak for the situations that are going down. True, yeah, those. I feel like that description applies a whole, like 100% to what we seeing in the news. But every police officer ain't the bad guy.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Every police officer has a certain training and has a certain thing that they go through.
Well, they all have the same training.
They all have the same training. They all have the same training. Their practice of that in the field is what differs based on the person themselves.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Every police officer goes through the exact same training as the next police officer. Their training across the country is the exact same. But when you're applying that, you can have somebody say, hey man, this is how you handle a pit bull. You know what I'm saying? But you put a guy in a cage with a pit bull, everybody ain't gonna respond the same way.
Everything goes out the
You know what I'm saying? Like, you responding based on, okay, shit, this is a pit bull, I gotta, some people may say, oh, okay, I know how to do this. It's a dog, the person is a dog, blah 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 blah. Some people say, oh man, fuck that, shoot it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fear influences a lot of their practice, because you gotta understand these people are working and this is not please understand, I'm not speaking for police officers, you know, in general. I'm not a police officer myself, but I do understand the reality of their job. Every day they clock in, you put on a bulletproof vest.
Right.
I mean, but you sign up for that.
Exactly, and that's the counterpoint.
So you shouldn't even be pulling guns.
We're trying to reach is like if you're not ready to be a cop,
reform. I think it has to be a tougher guideline for people that are made officers of the law. There are a lot of people, and I think that's the problem. There are most of the people that we're seeing in the news these days are people that are going into this job where there's an inherent fear, there's an inherent danger with your job, and approaching it like, you know what, I gotta make it home. No, the lady that posted the female officer that posted the video on Facebook, who was that, I feel like 100% that's what an officer's mind state needs to be. She said, I took a sworn oath in front of God and my government that I will serve and protect, even if it means not making it home to my 1-year-old daughter. That is the job you are choosing to take. That is the job you need to be willing to accept death over. You putting on that bulletproof vest. I don't go to work and put on a bulletproof vest to clock into my job. I don't want that kind of action. You know what I'm saying? If you were in the military, you don't go over there saying, hey, look, I'm going to war, but you know, just in case. No, they giving you a gun and sending you out into the front line. You understand that,
right? This is what to expect.
Exactly.
Because
you know to accept.
Because if you don't do it, they call it treason.
Exactly. You say, you know what? Nah, I'm not fighting this. I'm not fighting this. I don't want to die.
It's like, well,
that's
why
treason.
Here?
They can have you court-martialed for that. Absolutely. You can get a dishonorable discharge from your country. You know what I'm saying? From your country's armed services for not fighting that war. And that's what cops need to be held to more of a standard of. If you put on this bulletproof vest and you giving a gun and a badge that gives you authority over other people that you may meet, civilians that you may meet, you're an officer of the law. You are enforcing the laws of this country. That means you understand you might die.
Exactly.
You might die.
You just might die.
But now it's like everybody has a mentality of, the officers have a mentality of, well, they gonna die before I do.
Exactly.
And it's like it's not fair, because it's like, you know what, I didn't tell you to take the job. You know what I'm saying? So why is it that my cousin had to pass away or die because you decided that you couldn't understand, you didn't understand your job description?
And I will say, I'm glad he's here. You gave me more insight than I think I've ever had as far as the inner workings of law enforcement and the opinion. And you need to go ahead and hop on in the conversation. In my opinion, man, you need to break some more knowledge down for us. I was trying to explain that there's an inherent danger that comes with your job. When you clock in every day, you put on a bulletproof vest. That is to stop bullets. That means that there's a possibility you might get shot, but you also given a gun and a badge, and you're given the task and the duty to police and protect and serve. Anything to say on that?
I mean, I've been listening in to most of the conversation this morning. I apologize for being late. I actually just got back from Dallas last night, and it's crazy. But nonetheless, you're right, man. We are given those items to help us perform a job that a lot of us don't care about the color of our skin or the person standing next to us when we put on that badge. We respond to calls on a daily basis, and a lot of times the person that's on the other end of that phone that's calling for our help doesn't match the same color as us. We have to put that aside, and what a lot of people feel, or what a lot of people fail to realize, and what I feel a lot of people aren't looking at, is that we do this stuff on an everyday basis, most of us. And every day we're encountering people that are out to get us for no reason. Every day we're encountering people that are being pulled over with the mentality, and might I add, it's the same mentality we have at a lot of times. One of us is going home tonight, whether it be you or me. One of us is going home to our family. You feel what I'm saying? I have 2 daughters I have to go home to at night. And when I pull up on a car for a traffic stop, for doing 20 over the speed limit, or for a busted taillight, or for driving drunk, a lot of times the only thing these people think about is, I'm going home. I'm not going back to jail. And they're willing to do anything and everything to get away from that. I've been shot at multiple times since I've been on the force, and that's not even serving warrants. That's doing minute stuff, everyday activities. You know what I'm saying? And I will say this. I've said this before, and I'm not afraid to say it. I don't agree with the actions of every officer in the world. I don't. But not every officer in the world has an agenda or is out to attack people just for the hell of it. That's like saying, and somebody else said that's like saying every person of Muslim descent or every Muslim out there is a terrorist, or everybody from Arabic descent is a terrorist. Everybody that's white is a slave owner. No, because I'm going to tell you the truth. I got some people that took bullets for me in Iraq. You know what I'm saying? I got a guy right now. I'm a Purple Heart veteran. A lot of people don't know that. I'm a Purple Heart veteran. I got shot twice while I was in Iraq.
Salute.
I took a bullet for a white man, a rear admiral in the United States Navy. I got shot twice for it. Do you know I can call this man right now at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and he not have any qualms. He'll pick up the phone. Hey, man, you need anything? Is everything okay? When I got shot, his wife, this old white lady, came from Virginia to Germany and sat with me in Germany for 4 months while I was going through my rehabilitation from saving her husband's life. Not all white people are bad. Not all black people are bad. Not all Asian people are bad. Not all police are bad.
That was my point. I'm not saying that all police are bad, but I'm saying is what it from you being I say one of the good ones. You understand when you go out there every day, there's a possibility that you could lose your life. There's a possibility that you can be injured in a violent altercation, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to take for us to get to the point to where the cops that we are trusting to serve and protect to get us a sense of comfort? I mean, I can speak for myself. The last couple of days when I've been riding around, every cop car I see, I'm nutting up. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm seeing a lot more that you can shoot me and get away with it. I can comply. I can comply with your orders and I can comply with you pulling me over and ordering and still get popped.
A cop could just be having a bad day and fuck around and they have so much power that they can just fuck around and kill your ass right there.
They're human just like anybody else.
I understand that, but like he said when he first walked in, he was like, bro, and this is why I say every cop, I'm not gonna say has an agenda, but he's looking like, hey man, I got to get home to my kids. I got to do this. I got to do that. And so, like when they pull you over, first of all, they might pull you over on some just suspicious type shit. Like they just suspicious just because of our skin color. And then they're like, damn, I'm having a bad day, so I'm gonna be a jerk to this person. And then just being a jerk to the person, of course, somebody's gonna come back at you a certain way. Then they use their authority. Like every cop I've ever been encountering with, they always try to be like, they're my dad type shit. They always try to son me. And as a black man, I've been in a car with white people, and they always be like, you know, sir, they're so polite to them. They're like, yes, sir, I pulled you over because you were speeding, blah, blah, blah. They talk to them like they're reasonable. I've never met a cop that talked, black cop, white cop, Asian cop, Indian cop, all of them talk to you like you're a fucking, like a slave master's talking to a slave. Like
you don't know anything.
Like you don't know anything. And even if you know the law, they don't care. They don't care because they look at you and they're like, you're just a young black nigga in these streets. And so I can't even look at, I mean, I respect what cops do, but I just can't respect who they are. I can't respect who they are because I feel like regardless of fact, it's kind of like gangs. It's kind of like gangs because gangs were started to protect our neighborhood. And then they end up being like something completely different from what they are. That's how I feel like the cops are.
This is where my hurt comes from with this. At the end of the day, we as let me back up. I'm black for those people who don't know that. Okay, I was black before I put on the badge. I'm gonna be black when I take off the badge. I'm black. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not no Uncle Tom black. I'm not no racist black. I don't care. I love everybody. You feel what I'm saying? That's the way I was raised. But we as black people have to be more accountable for what it is that not only we are seeing, but what we believe. Okay? I say that to say this. a lot of black people are looking at these incidences and saying, "Oh, it's the white man trying to take the black people out. It's a white versus black thing. They only treating black folk like this."
But I don't think it's not a white versus black thing. It's more so a police versus black thing.
But see, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You're saying police versus black. If you go and you look, if on one glorious lucky day you had the ability to go and look at the official statistics of internal affairs investigations,
that's bullshit.
Hear me. Internal affairs investigations, I guarantee you that you're going to have more citations and write-ups against white officers with their own people and black officers with their own people than you do in interracial incidents.
I can believe that.
I can assure you that.
Of course, because white people are going to talk to the
But this is the thing. But this is the issue right here, okay? First off, when an issue does occur, the first thing that's done is the media looks at it and says, "Oh, that white officer did that to that white man.
How can we spin it?
No, we can't spin that to get no views. Oh, look, this white man did this to this black man. Let's push this. Let's quote this. Let's go back and do this and go back and do that." See, the thing is, we as black people, we don't take the time to stop and say, "Whoa,
why is it being presented?"
Why is it being exactly?
Good point. I hate to interrupt you on this, but noticing the whole Dallas attack, which is a sad, unfortunate tragedy.
Yeah.
The Dallas attack, the first thing I've been seeing on the news as far as the headlines were, this is the largest attack on police officers since 9/11. Last I heard, 9/11 wasn't no goddamn police attack. It wasn't no attack on law enforcement. 9/11 was an attack on the American people, but yet they spinning it because that's what's going to get people to watch. So the media
that's the most cops killed, though.
Have you seen the recent one?
The 9/11 was not no motherfucking attack.
I'm not saying it was an attack on cops.
Okay.
It was the most cops killed at one time.
But that's the way
they're spinning
I
it.
understand
That's where the media
comes
comes into play. They're saying this was the largest attack on law enforcement since 9/11. That right there is that's semantics, and it's fucked up because they trying to spin it to where they can get more viewers. The same way they get people riled up. The dude that shot those officers out there.
The first thing they said the first thing I heard about him was, "Oh, he's a member of the the new Black Panther Party."
They show him with the dashiki with his fist up. They don't show his military pictures because he's a veteran.
They showed one.
The first picture that popped up was the picture with him with his fist up in a dashiki. Man, that's what the first thing I saw across all outlets.
I saw multiple pictures, like a 3-picture thing.
Like I say though, it's not a thing to where it's police officers attacking just black people, and I'm gonna give you a little bit more proof on that. Look up Roman Nunez, Jose Nunez. I think it is.
Not just attack. They attacking people of color.
He just got shot on July 4th, unarmed. A Hispanic guy in San Jose. How many people have heard about that on the news?
I mean,
you see what I'm saying? How many people heard about that on the news? How about the white guy in Florida that got shot 3 weeks ago, 16 times? That's damn near more than what's in a doggone clip. You see what I'm saying? But the media is not pushing that. The media is not broadcasting that. The media is not announcing that. But the first thing they jump on is a black man being shot 10 times. Hell, I'm not gonna lie to you. I check Channel 2 news every morning before I go to sleep. Every night before I go to sleep. Every time before I let my head down. On Friday nights, about 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, they don't post nothing on Click 2 Houston. 9 times out of 10.
People ain't looking. People ain't looking.
Because people sleep.
Exactly.
How about this? This morning at 3 o'clock or 3:15, something like that, when I was leaving work, I just so happened to click on the news because it was a major accident on the freeway on 45 in Parker. And I look, and the very first thing I see, another black man dead, this time in Houston. Yeah. They're attacking on what's relative right now.
They play into our fears.
You see what I'm saying? And we as black people, we as people, period, are allowing them to manipulate what it is that we have going and what it is that we actually are seeing.
But you know,
again, I'm not gonna say all cops are bad. Not all cops are good. But how can you honestly blame all of the law enforcement across the United States for what a few bad apples are done? Even if you say it's 25% of law enforcement, how can you still accuse all of the law enforcement around the United States for being that bad?
I'll say where it comes from. Speaking on personal experience, it comes from personal experience. In my life, I've had police officers pull guns on me 3 times, twice from traffic stops, once from just being in the quote unquote wrong neighborhood. All right, that influences how I look at the police. So if the police pulled me over, and this is a situation that happened to me years ago, driving to Louisiana on the interstate, got pulled over. Wasn't the driver. I was in the passenger seat. Car, 3 other women in the car with me. Get pulled over. Cop says, "Hey, pull over. Step out of the car." My lady was riding with me at the time. She's in the driver's seat. Busy traffic on the interstate. So I said, "Officer, I would like to let her get out on this side because I don't want her to get hit by any kind of cars while she's getting out the driver's seat." I announced this to the officer. He said, "Step out the car." Okay, I'm pointing my hands up. I'm keeping my hands visible the entire time because even as an early age, my folks told me, "Hey, look, don't give them cops no reason to shoot your ass. You a big black man. Don't give them a reason." That's what my parents instilled in me. All right. I get out of the car. Hands are still visible, moving as slowly as I possibly can. I get out the car. Cop got his gun on me. I announced this. I'm moving slowly as possible. I ain't got no throwback jersey and nothing like that for anything that they try to play it up to where, oh, he looked like a thug. I had on a polo shirt and some short shorts, some khaki shorts, probably the ones I got on now. Nigga had his guns drawn on me. No issue, no problem whatsoever. Second time, I get pulled over. My partner's driving again. Car full of black guys. Guns pulled on us as soon as we got the car. This is what has happened to me. I've gotten pulled over. The first cop on the interstate was white. Second cop they pulled me over when I was riding with my boys was white. Both of them pulled guns before even addressing us damn near. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm used to. That's what I've seen. You know what I'm saying?
I can tell you the last one, maybe 2 traffic stops that I was on. Actually, yeah, the last 2 traffic stops I drew my weapon both times. Do you know why? I was outnumbered by 5 people, me by myself, and the stupid ass passenger decided he wanted to get out the vehicle. At that point in time, everything else that's going on around me is shut the fuck down, because like I said earlier, one of us is gonna go home, and 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, my job is to make sure that it's me. I say that to say it's 5 people in a 2008 Impala, dark 10 windows. It's nighttime. First of all, I can barely see into your vehicle. What I can see is the silhouettes moving back and forth, okay? The passenger decides to be a dumbass and get out the vehicle. My first thing, okay, now my attention is on him because he might run. I still got 4 other people in the car that I gotta watch for. It's no way in hell I can watch 5 people at one time by myself. My backup is 4 minutes out. My backup is 3 minutes out. My first thing is protect myself, because while I'm watching this jackass that just got out the car because he's doing what the fuck he want to do instead of what I'm asking him to do, now I have 4 people over here that could either A, be trying to hide drugs, which I really don't care about, or B, trying to pull out a gun so that they can shoot me in my back. I've had partners that have been shot on traffic stops for the stupidest stuff in the world. I have a partner that I actually served with when I was in Virginia, and he went on a traffic stop one night, and the only thing he was gonna do was tell the dude to go. I know him. I worked with him for a year and a half. He's never written a traffic ticket. Never written a traffic ticket. When he pulls over people, he tells them, "Look, slow down, be calm, this is what you're doing, and leave it alone," so they can rectify it. He pulls his car over to tell this guy to slow down and that his headlight was out. Do you know he got shot at 4 times? Ended out into a full drawn out gun battle right there in Norfolk, Virginia. People only look at what's happening right then and there. They don't look at what we have to go through on a daily basis. Again, like I say, the media is not going to tell everything that we're doing.
But y'all aren't trained to do that.
That's your job, bro. That's your job. You signed up for that. Understand, it's a dangerous profession. It's the most dangerous profession in the world, probably, next to being a goddamn high school teacher in a black community, a shitty black community. You know what I'm saying? You signed up for that. That's like you know going into work. Hey man, I'm strapped. Yeah. I got my vest on. I got my pistol. I could possibly not make it home. If that's damn near operating under a fearful mindset, bro.
Yeah, like
So what you're saying is it's okay for a firefighter to run into a burning building without a Kevlar suit and an oxygen tank. It's okay for a doctor.
If he a firefighter,
it is okay for a doctor. It is okay for a doctor to perform surgery on somebody without using any type of protection while they're performing surgery. What you're telling me
if it's on the scene, if it's on the scene, then it
to
is.
be prepared to react.
Yeah, but you shouldn't just jump to conclusions. First and foremost, you said there's 5 people in the car. So you said the stop that you did was 5 people in the car. It's been times where I've been in a car and it was just in a situation just like you said. If one person's about to get out of the car, then you have other gadgets, you have other stuff that can de-escalate that situation, other than just pulling out your weapon, because that's gonna get everybody on 10 type shit. Like if you pull out your weapon, like it could be niggas in the car with weapons. It could be like it can always escalate to something that it didn't have to go to. It's just because you initiated that shit. Like pretty much like you're initiating like coming at people. So
and that's not how it's supposed to be. That is the highest amount of force that an officer is supposed to use. That's only when they're threatened with that same type of force, or a force like one level lower. So the only way that you're supposed to pull your weapon is if like somebody has a knife.
You see a gun?
No.
Pull your gun.
Did you see a gun?
No, my whole thing, what you said is the same time you talking about the firefighter. Firefighter, yes, they go into that fire. They wear that Kevlar, whatever it is, the fire protection suit and the mask like that. But they know that they are risking their lives in part of the job. Hold on, if a house is on fire, you're not gonna put the water on it and be like, hey, somebody in there. Well, fuck it, I gotta go home. I gotta make it home. You signed up to be a firefighter, so that means that, you know what, I gotta go in there and save that person's life while putting my life on the line, because that's the job.
You didn't listen to what I said. You didn't listen to what I said.
Explain it to me.
Because my issue was not about a firefighter going into a burning building. Okay, I started off as a firefighter, so I know I have to go into a burning building. But that firefighter goes into a burning building. It's okay for him to go into a burning building without an oxygen mask and without a Kevlar suit?
Of course not.
Okay, so as a police officer, it's okay for me to go into a situation that I'm uneasy about, that I don't know what's going on.
We're not telling you to leave your gun
without being prepared to protect myself. That's my point.
You can be prepared mean having your gun drawn.
You can be prepared. Yes. You can be prepared. Yes. You can be prepared for a situation, but you don't have to. That's what I'm saying. That's like you're just escalating the situation. That's what it sounds like to me.
Wait, hold on. So you saying, let me see if I can understand where both of y'all coming from. You saying don't go into a situation with your gun drawn because that's going to cause an automatic escalation of the situation. Yeah. You saying, our brother the officer is saying that gun being drawn is shit.
You feel like that's your protection, but that's what I'm saying. You being a cop, you got to be ready to die for this shit. That's all. I'm sorry to say it like that, but you got to be ready to die for this shit. Okay. Like this is like this. This that ride or die type. I'm ready to die for this shit. So if you feel like it doesn't matter what like rules or anything that's being broken at that time, you can't just jump to conclusions. You gotta analyze the situation, see everything that's going on. You gotta run through your procedures or whatever it is. If it's 4 people in the car and you don't know how to handle those 4 people in the car at that one time, tell all the motherfuckers to get out the goddamn car and have them sit up in a line and then do it like that. But don't just go up to the car. If they run, then it's gonna happen. But you ain't shooting niggas. You ain't pulling your gun up on niggas. You just being like, hey man, I'm gonna walk up to the car and then you already feeling threatened already. You need to as your job as a cop is to de-escalate the situation. So what you need to do is, like I said, tell everybody to get out the car. If you feel like you can't handle the situation because you don't know what's going on in the car, tell everybody to get out the car. And I know black people in themselves are gonna feel a certain type of way.
Exactly.
But that's gonna still not make us be getting shot.
That's not true. That's not true. And the reason why I can speak on this is because I've been on both sides. Like I have family in law enforcement, and I have someone who has been in the predicament where they were brutalized by the police officers. The problem is, and I'm gonna go back to what DJ Ray said earlier, is a lot of our people do not want to be held accountable. So this man has to think for himself, just like you have to think for yourself. You get pulled over, first thing in your mindset, just based on your experiences, is that this situation is gonna go wrong. Why are you automatically thinking that the situation is gonna go wrong? The situation could go completely right if you sit, like he said, the guy hopped out of the car. Why are you hopping out of the car? If you know it's a cop behind you, why are you hopping out of the car? That was the first thing right there. Exactly. So because he made a dumb move. Now this man has to be
make a dumb move. So
no, it wasn't a dumb move. No, it wasn't a dumb move. What it was is I have to think first based on what just happened to me. So now it's just like if this man would have stayed in the car, he could have got out, walked up to the vehicle, did whatever he needed to do, and everybody could have went their separate ways. So both people need to be held accountable. Police officers who are first to draw and shoot, not just draw a gun, just draw and shoot. That's the problem. The problem is police officers are pulling out their guns and they're shooting rather than thinking like, okay, this really isn't a situation for me to have my gun out. But if you draw your gun, that's the issue.
Yeah, but if you draw your gun, you're ready to shoot. Mm-hmm. That's my whole point. If you draw your gun, you have a taser. Tase that motherfucker.
No.
That's just like bringing a knife to a gunfight. You know what I'm saying? If this guy hopped out of a car.
So you're training. Also, all right. So that explains a lot. So
came to me. The man has gone through police training. He's speaking from experience.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So y'all police training,
I know about.
Right.
Y'all's police training. I don't want to say y'all's police training is shitty. Then
can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Okay. Have you ever served in the military?
No.
Okay. Do you know anybody who served in the military?
Yeah. My uncle died in the military.
Okay. If your uncle would have went over to Iraq with a M16 across his chest with a muzzle on it with no bullets in the clip, okay, what sense would that make? Is he prepared to do his job efficiently?
No.
Not in Iraq.
No.
Exactly.
But this is not fucking Iraq.
Why does it have to be Iraq? You know what
saying?
I'm saying? It's just
Hear
in
what
general.
I'm saying? This is not Iraq.
Yeah.
This is not Iraq, okay? But the same way the military has a job in Iraq, the police in this city have a job to protect people and to protect themselves. Okay,
it says to protect and serve yourself and people. That's what it says on y'all's oath.
Just because I draw my weapon does not mean that I'm going to fire my weapon. The difference between the training of a civilian and a police officer is that a police officer is trained when to shoot and when not to shoot.
Oh yeah, and that looks like it's going really good right now.
No. Like I said earlier, all cops are not the same.
Exactly.
Just because you have a couple of cops that don't know or didn't pay attention in class or were too busy fixing their sheets in class
or just afraid of black men.
That could possibly be it.
Hold on.
That could possibly be it. But
so let's recenter the issue around why we're here. So the issues that we have. And we gonna get opinions from both sides. So, Philando Castile, Alton Sterling.
Right.
So let's analyze this situation because that's why we're here to break these situations down and to figure out what went wrong. Now that we have a party here that can speak for law enforcement and us as being civilians, and what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna just throw the weight of law enforcement on this man because he's one man. He does
a representation of law enforcement,
but not all. You can't say that he's still his own person.
I'm not discrediting. I'm not trying to come at this man any type of way because I know him, so I understand the person that he is.
Right,
but still, that's not going to change the fact in my head that the way that they're trained and the way that they're thinking is wrong. Is not going to change it because, like he said, they're going out there in the fear of that they need to go home. They need to go home to their kids. They need to go home to their wives. They need to go home to this and that. You're not supposed to think like that. Y'all are supposed to be the superheroes out there. Y'all are supposed to be those people that lay down their life for somebody else. Just like you went in the military, you took that bullet for that dude. Like y'all are supposed to not be fearful of situations like that.
You can't ask for that though, because they're still human. You know what I'm saying? Like a human is like whether you sign up, whatever job it is, it's how you decide to go in for. That doesn't stop you from being human.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm scared of fires, I'm not going to be a fucking firefighter. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. You can't come into the situation like this and and be fearful, because you already know what it entails in your job description. In your job description, shit can go really, 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 really bad, and so you gotta know that shit can happen. But you escalate the situation. You're not gonna walk into a heavy gang fucking neighborhood with your guns out, waving all that kind of shit, popping off like that.
Because you're gonna expect that. I mean,
you're gonna expect trouble. And so that's what I'm saying. You're not gonna like that's what I'm saying. Cops just feeling that they have that, they're so much more inferior than everybody else. They're so much better than everybody else. That's the mindset, and them being fearful of everybody else. That's the mindset that has to be changed. We can't be sitting here just thinking that like them as cops, they're doing their job.
They know they can get off,
quote unquote.
The Alton Sterling. Could you break down from what you saw, what actually transpired and what went wrong? What could have happened and why it didn't go that way? Why this man is not with us?
I can't speak on behalf of law enforcement, but I can give you my personal opinion.
Okay.
And with my background and my training, there was absolutely zero reason for that officer's weapon to be drawn in that close proximity.
Glad we was nervous.
At that point,
he was afraid.
At that point,
he wasn't nervous. He was afraid.
At that point, there was no more imminent threat to his life as a police officer.
Right.
Okay. The first thing you're trained to do whenever anybody learns to shoot or anybody gets in a situation is that you have two decisions when you're faced with the situation. You're either gonna fight or you're gonna flee. Okay. If you're gonna fight, you taught to step in so you can attack. If you're going to flee or retreat, you're going to step back, okay? As a police officer, if I'm drawing my weapon, that means I am in fear of my life, okay? However intense the situation is or however mellow the situation is, there is some point to where I'm in fear of my life. Now, if I'm in arm's reach, or I have a person on the ground, whether they're on their back, their stomach, their side, one leg up, one leg down, there is absolutely no need for me to pull a pistol at that close of range. From what I saw in the video and from what I observed, one of his hands was actually detained. He was on his back and the other hand was invisible. I can't say if he had his hand on the pistol. I can't say if he had his hand in his pocket.
Video showed he did not.
I cannot say that he was able to get anywhere in the vicinity of his pistol. But what I do know is there are other tactics that officers are trained to use when they're in that close proximity to an individual. Okay, people have complained about batons.
2 versus 1, I didn't think that was necessary at all. Anyway,
police have complained about. People have complained about batons, the use of batons. People have complained about the use of tasers. People have complained about the use of pepper spray.
But you know what? It's still alive.
But I carry all three. I don't always use all three, but I carry all three for specific situations like that. If I had been in that situation, me personally, there is no way in hell my pistol would have been drawn until I seen him physically with his hand on the pistol, because I'm too close. If you can't even see a flash from my muzzle when I fire my weapon, that means the barrel of my gun is doggone near intact to your skin. That's point blank. That's considered murder.
Blank. That is murder.
That's considered murder.
Thank you. That's murder.
Okay? That's my personal opinion. Now, you got a baton. You could have put that baton across his neck, underneath his arm, twisted him up, got him to give. You got pepper spray. You could have shot him in the eye. Yeah, you probably would have been crying too, but it probably would have slowed him down from reaching for that pistol because he would have went for his eyes first. And you got a taser. Some people say there was a taser shot at the guy. The guy was shot with a taser. I don't see that in the video. I don't see it.
Look closely. The wire, that familiar spirally wire that's deployed from a taser. You can see that on the as the officers getting wrapped up with him. They did try to tase him.
Okay, maybe the video I saw wasn't the best quality, but I didn't see it. Even with that, if I have a 2-pronged taser into you, and that taser is still connected, the only thing I got to do is pull the trigger, and that's gonna give you an extra jolt. Okay, on top of that, my partner has a taser also. So if I got one into you and I'm hitting you with jokes, my partner doesn't actually have to deploy prongs at that close range. The same way I had the same way he had his pistol in this guy's chest or in his back, he could have had that doggone taser in the back of his neck. That's my opinion on that.
And then that's all that we. I mean, that's all that we want to have said is that, you know, yeah, the police are trained to not necessarily have to pull their weapon. I mean, I was in school. I had a class with the former chief of police, Chief Bradford, and he said only 8% of cops actually use their duty weapon, but there has to be an increase. Like it was 3 black men murdered this week.
Now,
I'm sorry. When he says their duty weapon, only 8% of officers use their duty weapon. He's speaking specifically of their firearm.
Right.
He's not pertaining to
taser,
baton, anything
the
else.
percentage is way higher for those kind of things.
Right.
Now, the way you said about the Alton Sterling case, about saying that yes, you are under the impression that was murder for the most part.
That's
right?
my personal opinion.
Okay, your personal opinion. What about Philando? What did you see as far as procedural, procedures? I guess. What did you see as far as the wrongdoing in that?
Wait, and time out. And before you go ahead and deliver your response, I do want to make it perfectly transparent that Philando Castile was given permission to go ahead and reach for his
weapon, his concealed license,
handgun license. Because the officer asked him, would you have any weapons or anything of that magnitude? Because it's in the police training to ask, is there anything that I need to be, worried about? And if this man said, yes, I have my concealed handgun license, and you go ahead and ask to see this license, and you go and reach for this license,
and you hit him 4 times,
and you shoot this man. Go ahead.
Do you draw your weapon at the time?
I'm gonna say this. Absolutely. If you tell me there's a weapon in the vehicle and you finna reach for something, my hand immediately goes to my pistol.
That's not what was said.
That's what he.
That's why I was asking. It was a question.
That's what he just asked.
Okay. Question.
Now to come back on your end, in watching that video, I can honestly say it does not make sense. It does not make sense from a law enforcement point of view. If I walk up to your vehicle, let's say I walk up to your vehicle and you tell me, hey, I have a weapon in my vehicle. I do not care where your weapon is, what kind of license you have. I don't care if you got a badge just like mine. You just told me there's a weapon in the vehicle. My very first thing that I'm going to do, whether you got a kid or wife or great granny, auntie, or a baby mama in the car, my very first thing is to separate you from that weapon.
Yeah.
So if that weapon is on your hip, on your leg, or in the seat, I don't want you to reach for a doggone thing. Nothing. Step out of the vehicle, put your hands right here on the hood, and you sit right here for a second. 2112, I need assistance. My backup is coming so that my backup can watch your wife, your baby mama, or whoever else is in the car, and also make sure that she ain't reaching for nothing. I'm not worried about the kid all the time, but I need to make sure that this situation is under control before we go any further. Now, if that weapon is on you, I'm taking that weapon off of you, I'm clearing it, and I'm putting it in my car. I'm going to put you in handcuffs, not to arrest you, but to detain you for my safety and yours, because I don't know what else is in that vehicle. And then I'm going to come back and ask you for your concealed handgun license. That's protocol and procedures. Now, for this woman to say, and I'm saying this again, keep in mind, the only thing that I saw on this video was the aftermath. I didn't see the initial probable cause for the stop. I didn't see him approach the vehicle. I didn't even hear the questioning in between them about did he have the license or the weapon. The only thing I saw when I saw this video is a woman on Facebook immediately, oh my God, they just shot my boyfriend. And then an officer in the background, I told him not to reach. That's he say versus she say. She say versus he say. Yeah. So at the end of the day, if I had to make a decision, or if I was asked, what do I think the outcome is going to be? I hate to say it, but in all honesty, he might walk. He might walk because in that instance, there's not enough evidence to support either his side or her side. when the grand jury indicts a police officer, there has to be indisputable proof without a question or a shadow of a doubt that this officer did some type of wrongdoing. And that's what a lot of people have failed to see in the past instances. There was no indisputable doubt or concern that this officer did something wrong.
And so they don't have the cameras. They don't have the camera. Y'all don't all have the cameras.
Not all agencies have it. I don't know about that agency.
They got dash cams though. Shouldn't the dash cams should have picked up some of that?
Because again, if the lights are on, then the dash cam should pick it up, right?
Okay.
Can I?
When was the last time you looked at an HPD vehicle? No. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm honestly asking.
Last night, what are you talking about?
If you line up 10 HPD vehicles outside the studio right now, out of 10 of them, maybe one of them will have a dash mount, and that's only if he's a on the job trainer, if he's a field training officer, or if he's a supervisor.
That's fucked up.
That's it. Now HPD wears body cams. Now as far as that agency, the agency in Minnesota, I think it is. I don't know if they have dash mounts or if they have body cams. If they have either of the two, that is what's going to be the determining factor on whether he gets indicted or not.
May I ask this question?
Yes, sir.
So is the training not the same for someone that may have a gun in the car? Because it was evident that he had a CHL. That's what we do know. So is it not standard protocol for an officer to separate that person from their weapon?
It is, and and that right there is my point as to why I say it's too many unanswered questions.
Yeah, but in
that situation.
But just because it looks, that's what I'm saying. So it looks funny, and people might think it's funny. So then that means the police officer walks. Like, that's what I'm saying. Just because there's not enough evidence, or there's not enough this or that, or the police, just because the police didn't do his job right, it doesn't matter. Like, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what you do or like you said, like, if they didn't have the dash cam or anything like that, and it goes over he say she say, it's always gonna go the officer's way. It's never gonna go the victim's way,
unless she had been recording.
Unless she was recording.
Right.
And even if that, then it doesn't even matter.
Because that would have given a lot more evidence to the whole situation. Had she started recording as soon as they got pulled over and gotten the entire conversation, then yeah, it may work in their favor a little bit more. But the fact that it happened already and you get in the aftermath,
right?
That's when you gotta,
it's kind
of
But I will say that, I mean, if you want to make a case criminal, the burden of proof will rest beyond a reasonable doubt. So if there's not enough evidence, then that's why he will walk.
But that's what I'm saying. He can kind of put. What I'm saying is he can sabotage it to a way that there's not going to be any evidence, because he can be like, oh well, I don't have a dash cam, so I can do whatever the fuck I could be out in these streets doing whatever the fuck I want to do. I don't have a body cam, so I can be out in these streets doing whatever the fuck I want to do. Oh, I'm sorry for cussing, y'all. I can do whatever the hell I want to do. So it's like,
hell is a cuss word too.
I can do whatever I want to do. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So it's the whole sense of that's our problem with law enforcement. Well, that's my problem, is the feeling that they can do whatever they want to do.
God complex.
Like it's really a big God complex. Like every police officer I know, like I mean, other than you, because you're in the room right now. But every police officer I know, I'm just playing frat.
Don't talk. He'll let you about you as soon as you leave.
Yeah. No.
Fuck the pool. All that.
He just mad because I ain't wipe out that traffic ticket he got last night. It's all cool.
Speaking of which, I need to go ahead.
I will say this. Okay. Again, like Country said a second ago, the burden of proof is it has to be without a question, without a shadow of a doubt. If I was the judge, or I was the grand jury for the Alton Sterling case, I can honestly tell you, I would be looking for an indictment straight off the muscle on the other young man in Minnesota. Forgive me for not Philandro. Okay. I honestly cannot say. I can't. I can't say what happened. I can't even make a educated assumption as to what's going to happen, because there's not enough proof. There's not enough visual evidence to support either one of their stories
That we know of.
that we know of. Okay, like I say, if the dash cam come out later on, okay, cool. If whatever, it's cool. But at this point in time, just because an officer strays from their training does not make that officer right, nor does that make that officer wrong. Because again, in every situation, something is done different.
How though? How are you gonna say it doesn't make an officer right or wrong? What does it make the officer then? Like if you stray from your training, then you're wrong. You fucked up.
That was directed more so towards what Country said about him taking him out of the vehicle. Okay. Do I think that could have made a difference in the outcome?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It would have made a big difference in the outcome. But there's a lot of times where an officer pulls somebody over for doing 5 over the speed limit, 10 over the speed limit, and we still let you make it. You see what I'm saying? You can't turn your head for an officer cutting corners or breaking the law, or I'm not gonna say breaking the law, for cutting corners on this
when it benefits you,
but it can't cut corners on that. But you understand what I'm saying? I understand that it's a difference in the situations, but at the same time,
I think we can make a
timeout before you do that. I have to interject because it's not even cutting corners. It's not even cutting corners. Police officers are known to have the biggest leeway to do what? Utilize their what?
Gun.
No, not their gun. The biggest leeway to utilize what?
Authority.
No, not authority. Man, you should know this. The biggest leeway to utilize their
you just looking for the word.
Yeah, I'm looking for the word. It's like their better judgment. Like they don't have to give you a speeding ticket every time they pull you over. They don't have to. They just don't have to.
Well, that's the case. Why pull you over?
They don't have to shoot you every time.
I mean, they have to. They have a job to do. Now, if they hit you on the radar and you know the speed limit is 65 and you doing 80, come on now. All right, look, he can pull you over and still say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna give you a warning. You know, they don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about cutting corners, it's not necessarily cutting corners, but they have the leeway to either let you make it or give you this citation. They had like, you know what I'm saying? Like they have a plethora of options to exercise, but pulling a gun shouldn't be one. It don't have to be the very first one. That's not, even if you are scared, like that don't have to be your first thing to do is pull your gun.
The point that I was trying to make earlier when I went to the veterans overseas in Iraq was being prepared. Being prepared for whatever adventure or whatever situation that you're about to walk into. An athlete trains. A football player goes into a football game with helmet and all this other equipment to protect themselves. Likewise, a police officer. The difference between our training and a civilian's training is that we're taught to know how to keep our finger off, how to handle the gun properly. A civilian isn't. So when civilians take concealed handgun courses, they teach you guys, do not pull your weapon unless you're fitting to shoot. Do not pull your weapon unless you finna shoot. It's totally different with us. We supposed to have our weapon in our hand and know when to shoot and when not to shoot.
Y'all supposed to have y'all's weapon in y'all's hand?
That is us being prepared. Yes.
At what stage are you supposed to have your weapon in your hand?
And again, that's a judgment call as to the situation that you're about to walk into.
My situation.
Right.
Well, that's bullshit.
You know the solution? RoboCops.
And with that, we will to be continue this discussion. Police brutality, our reality, a critical conversation with the Core 94. For myself, it's a Big Country, DJ Ray, True Lyric, Destin Prestige, and Grady. Grady will catch up with y'all in the near future.
Thank you for tuning in.
What up?
That was a good conversation.